on, guys? This is Clutch Show, episode number 6. I'm your host, Jesse Clutch, and it is May 2nd as I record this. And we got a big fight here in Vegas in a few hours. Money Mayweather, Pacquiao. Who you guys got? Yo, I'm saying Money is gonna prevail. Well, I think he should win. I think he's the better boxer. He's the pound for pound best in the world, and I think he is gonna win. Well, at least I hope he wins. I'm a Mayweather fan. I'm Money team, bitch. Even though I'm broke. But yeah, the fight's tonight, and I'm hoping Floyd wins. I really hope he doesn't let it go to a decision, because if it goes to a decision, I think that he's gonna get fucked. That's my opinion. I don't think Pacquiao's better than him, but if it goes to a decision, Mayweather's gonna get fucked. One way or another, it's gonna be a draw, or they're gonna give it to Pacquiao just so they can have another fight, get more money. Either one is gonna get a fight number 2 in. That's the thing. So I think that's what's gonna happen. That's just my opinion. But I don't want to keep talking about that, because that's gonna be long gone by the time you guys hear this. So what's going on, everyone? I've been pretty good. Past 3 days, I've been waking up really, really early. I've been going to ESPN First Take, because they've been here in Las Vegas. The first day I got there at 4:30, around there, right? And I was like, yeah, we'll see what time. Because they said the doors open at 5:30, right? So I was like, let's see if I can get a seat. I want to be in a good spot so I can see. I don't really care about being on TV, but we'll see. And I got just short of getting a stool that day, and I was staying up the whole time, which is really annoying. So the second day, I decided to get there quicker. I asked my friend Chris to go, and he ended up showing up with me, so that was cool. I think I woke up at 3 that day, and then I picked him up at 3 or something like that. I don't really remember, even though it was just a couple of days ago. You guys can see I'm bad with memory and stuff. But we went there, and we were really hoping to get seats, but our group, because we got let in groups of 20, the first half of our group got the last seats, and then the rest of us had to stand. So I was like sort of pissed, and I was like, man, really? I come like an hour earlier today than I was yesterday, and I still don't get a seat. So yeah, that day it was really, really fun. And then yesterday, Friday, I woke up at I put my alarm at 1:45. Took a quick shower, and then dipped it, and I got there before 2:30. I got to the line before 2:30. I took my laptop because I knew the wait was gonna be a bitch, because they start talking, like the producer and stuff. They like get out and like tell us like, oh, thanks for coming and stuff at 5:30, because that's when the doors open, but they really don't open the doors at that time. And then we stay there for another half hour to an hour, just standing there in line, and then that's when they let us through. So since I got there like at 2:30, around there, I brought my laptop, and the first hour I watched Kobe Bryant's Muse documentary, which is really good. You guys should go watch it if you haven't seen it. I don't care if you're not even a basketball fan, because just seeing the intensity and all the prowess. So just Kobe Bryant, go watch it. Kobe Bryant's Muse. You can find it online, or hit me up if you need the file, because you know I'm into illegal shit. Yeah. So I watched the Kobe Bryant's Muse there in line, just sitting down with my laptop, and I also downloaded Civilization 5 again on my laptop. So after that documentary ended, I was playing Civ 5 for a little bit, and then we got back in line. When I first got there was 30 people ahead of me. When we got back in, it turns out a few people were cutting and shit was going crazy, and the guy behind me wanted to go fight the people who cut, and we started calling security, and security wasn't doing shit, so they were gonna have to handle their shit. And yeah, it was really annoying. But I got in, and I got to pick my seat, which I fucked up in, because I saw that the closest seats were on the left. so I chose that seat. And then my dumbass forgot. If I picked it more to the right, I could have got on TV the whole time while having a seat. But hindsight is 2020. Yeah, but I got good seats. I wasn't on TV, but I liked it. I got to sit down the whole time, which was really relaxing. And just watching First Take Live, it's so fun. It's so fun because they're so interactive with the crowd and cheering, booing, all that. And it was well worth the fucking wake up at 1:45, which I was supposed to go to sleep at around 8. I ended up going to sleep around 11, 12, around. I remember saying it's midnight because I was texting someone, and I remember saying it's midnight. So I had like an hour sleep for Friday. And when First Take ended, I took a picture with Skip Bayless, and then headed home and just knocked out. I got here at see, the show ended at 9. I'll say I got here around 10:30. Yeah, 10 to 10:30, and I knocked out until 3:20 or 3:10, somewhere around there, because I woke up because my dad came home, and then he opened the door really, really loud and woke me up, and that was not fun. Yeah, that's what I've been doing the past 3 days. 3 days, 4 days, 4 days, 3 days, not 3 days, 3 days. Finals are coming up. I don't have to go to my anthropology class anymore because I turned in my final project and I got a 30 out of 20. I don't know how that works, but my overall grade in that class is now an 89, which I'm very happy with because I haven't paid attention in that class at all. Fuck anthropology, seriously. Fuck that class. So there, I'm done with anthropology. My music class, I need to go watch 2 more performances at UNLV, and then I have to report on them. And then I also have a final to do for that one, and a final project. So that's gonna be a bitch. What else do I have? Philosophy. Finished my second writing assignment, which means I only have the final to do left. And I think I have I think I have a B in that class in philosophy, and I should have a B in music. I should. Yeah. So I just have to do good in the finals on both of them. Then anthropology, I already said. And then English. My English class, I am doing good in. Just another B. I'm a B student, I swear. I'm above average, but I'm not the best. Even though I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the best in the world. It's clobbering time. No, none of you are going to get that. Alright, so what else should I talk about? I had, guys, I had topics to run over right now, but I can't recall any of them. So I will just talk about here's something. All right. Why do people like to hide what they like to do? Or like what they like to see and stuff? 'Cause like I like watching NXT, right? NXT is the fucking shit. If you guys don't know what that is, in the WWE they have like a lower development brand, which is not Raw, SmackDown, which you guys should at least it should at least sound familiar. It's that's what the like superstars are on, and NXT is what the like newcomers go on before they jump onto that, and that's where they train to get better. NXT is the best right now, and that's what I've been watching because it is so fucking fun. But I don't hide that I watch that because even though people might think it's kind of weird, that's me, right? So it's like, I'm not embarrassed to say I watch that because I find it really, really fun and really, really entertaining. But some people, like let's say someone likes to game, right? Let's say someone likes to game a lot, and then they want to hide it from the public and stuff till not because they're like embarrassed. But like, why? That's something that you're into. That's something that people while they know you, it's like, oh, that's what this person's into. This is what she likes to do. This is what he likes to do. Stuff like that. Like, I don't if people think it's weird, then okay, just let them think it's weird, because if it's making you, if you like it, if it makes you happy, then just don't hide that, unless it's like drugs. I'm sorry, guys. I don't drink or smoke anything. I would say I'm what's it called? What's that thing CM Punk is? Straight edge? Not really. Just drug free. Drug free. I listen to my Dare officer. Yeah, DARE. I will dare. Dare. Let's see what else happened. I didn't do anything for my birthday, but on the weekend we had a sleepover. I know that sounds kind of gay. Seriously, we call it a sleepover, whatever. But we slept over at Josh's, played Wii U all night, and then in the morning they took me to church. Take me to church. I'll go to Bacadar. I don't know the words. Na 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 na. I'll tell you my sins, and you can sharpen your knife. I mean that. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, I'll just stop now. No, all right. We went to church, and it was fun. It was fun. It was very different to the church that I used to go to, because the preacher or whatever guy, the guy who talks, he seemed like really down to earth mostly. They played a lot of music. Dun 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 dun. And it was cool. It was cool. I'll admit that it wasn't bad. It exceeded my expectations, because I'll take it back. It wasn't cool. It just exceeded my expectations of what it was gonna be. And no, I'm not gonna go back. I'm not going back, but I can see the why people would go to that church, because it was sort of just a little bit fun. And people were saying I was sleeping in there. I was not sleeping. I had to shut my eyes, because the message was so deep that I couldn't take it with my eyes open. I had to close my eyes and put my head down to get the message fully through. You guys know what I'm saying, though. Yeah, but I'm not gonna be going to that church or any church anytime soon, because fuck that. And we'll talk about that with Morgan. We're gonna talk about that with Morgan. Morgan, this is part 2 of Morgan's interview, and we're gonna, in the interview, we're gonna finish talking about his hallucinations, what the doctors said that he might have, stuff like that. And I hope you guys enjoy it. It's really fun. And then I'm trying to line up guests for the next episodes, right? I have one set up. Just have to pick a day. Another one I'm trying to uno dos dos. And we'll see. If you guys want to hop on, just let me know, because I just want I want someone to talk to in those like little segments. And I think Morgan was like the best first guest on the rechart, I don't know what. I'm sorry. That was retarded. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna just end this little solo talking segment there, and let's just go to the fucking song of the week. Is this? No, it's not song of the episode. The song of the episode. That's what this is called. Yeah. So last episode, I showed you guys what was that? King Logi. I forgot what song it was, but yeah. So let's switch it up. I don't want to keep like one like type of genre, because I like lots of stuff. So this episode, it's not a weekly show. It's a show that I do whenever I want. This episode, the song is gonna be a song I really like. I really like the song. This is Ed Sheeran, who I've really been getting into. I really like his guitar playing. I like his singing. I wish I could sing like him and play like him, and I cry at him. All right, no, but this is Bloodstains by Ed Sheeran off the album X. Yeah, enjoy.
I've been spending out the time Couple women by my side, I got sinning on my mind, sipping on red wine. I've been sitting here for ages, ripping out the pages. How'd I get so faded? How'd I get so faded? Oh, no, no, don't leave me lonely now. If you love me, how'd you never love? Ooh, color crimson in my eyes, one or two could free my mind. This is how it ends. I feel the chemicals burn in my bloodstream, fading out again. I feel the chemicals burn in my bloodstream. So tell me when it kicks in. Well, tell me when it kicks in. I've been looking for a lover, thought I'd find her in a bottle. God, make me another one, I'll be feeling this tomorrow. Lord, forgive me for the things I've done. I was never meant to hurt no one. I saw scars upon a broken-hearted lover. Oh, no, no, don't leave me lonely now. If you love me, how'd you never learn? Color crimson in my eyes, one or two could free my mind. This is how it ends. I feel the chemicals burn in my bloodstream, fading out again. I feel the chemicals burn in my bloodstream. So tell me when it kicks in. Well, tell me when it kicks in. Well, tell me when it kicks in. All the voices in my mind calling out across the line. All the voices in my mind calling out across the line. All the voices in my mind calling out across the line. All the voices in my mind calling out across the line. All the voices in my mind calling out across the line. All the voices in my mind calling out across the line. Tell me when it kicks in. That's so scars upon it. Tell me when it kicks in. Broken heart. Tell me when it kicks in. That's so scars upon it. Tell me when it kicks in. Broken heart. Tell me when it kicks in. That's so scars upon it. Tell me when it kicks in. Broken heart. Tell me when it kicks in. That's so scars upon it. Tell me when it kicks in. Broken hearted. So tell me when it kicks in. That's so scars upon it. Tell me when it kicks in. Broken hearted. Tell me when it kicks in. That's so scars upon it. Tell me when it kicks in. Broken hearted.
Alright, so we're still here talking to Morgan. Morgan, last episode we ended up talking about how you were having visual hallucinations of your phone in your hand when it's really on the charger, right?
Yeah, and my phone would appear like multiple times on the bed saying I had a message, and I would like see if it was the real one by just like tapping it with my hand or hitting it, and like I was having trouble moving too. I was just like not in the, I don't know what was up with me, but I would hit it and it would just disappear. And when I looked at my actual phone, I didn't actually have a message at all. That was like the worst time that happened to me, though.
Okay.
Then those were like the visual hallucinations that like came with it after a bunch of stuff happened, and then a little later they like went away on their own for a while. I was, happy. It's all in loops. It's like I'm super extremely happy at points, and then all of a sudden I'm down and hearing things and like my thoughts race. And then I would go back to all of a sudden super happy again for a while and then back down. But either way, this was on an up loop or an upward feeling. I was feeling all right for a while. I thought maybe it's like finally over or whatever. And then one night after that, I would like get these like visual hallucinations, but like in my mind, sort of like daydreaming in a sense, like visions, but not visions, because But either way, and they freaked me out because of what happened in them.
What were you seeing?
One of them, I like grabbed my sister's head and like threw her head into a nail.
You just like she was just standing there and
like she was there laying on her bed, right? And there was like a nail facing up where the sharp side was up, right? And I would like grab her head and just like smash her head into it, and it freaked me out. I was like, why is that there? Like, that was only the first one. There was two really bad ones.
What was the second one?
The other one was me like hanging on hooks, my sister and both my parents, like hooks on the wall, and they were all like bloody and ugh.
Man, that is just like imagining having those kind of visions. That's scary.
I didn't know how to deal with it. I was like, why? Like I was wondering like why those were even in my head.
So what do you end up doing?
Well, I ended up thinking, which where that leads. It led me to overthinking and led me back in the cycle. I realize it just takes me a while to like get out of the cycle, but it's really easy to get back into the cycle. That's what I've realized. And
all of these like bad things have all happened when you're in the cycle?
Yeah, when I'm
like in the low part of the cycle.
When I'm in the low part, yeah.
And when you're like in the good part, you're just like relaxing like any other person?
When I'm in the upper part, it's usually when I'm like super like into meditating and I'm like super happy and like I'm just like on top of the world. I feel more than just relaxed. I feel like amazing, like I can do anything basically. Like I would walk out on the street, just take a walk, smile, like look at colors that would be more vibrant and stuff. And then when I'm down, colors just kind of don't look like they're just whatever, they're there,
Yeah.
And like a big part of the overthinking is like whenever I see something, I look way too deeply into it.
What do you mean?
Like I'm name something real quick, just anything.
A
story.
Bicycle.
Bicycle. Like let's take a bicycle, right? And take every single part of the bicycle and look at it and think of it in different ways. And like you'll see that there's a chain. And the chain, like, goes from one to the other, whatever. It's a connecting chain, right? Like, it connects it, right?
Yeah.
And I'll, like, make a connection between why that connects this to this. And I'll put a placement of what is this side and what is that side. And then it'll make me think of, like, something way bigger. And it usually all happens to, like, be existential stuff.
Damn, so you just, like, you can't just, like, look at it like, oh, that's a bicycle. You're actually breaking down, like, how it works.
Yeah, like I'm looking way too into the bicycle. Like I'm thinking like, what does a bicycle have to do? Like I'm trying to look, like my mind's trying to look for signs in everything, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm pretty sure my mind is on some type of vent to find the meaning of life.
Antichrist? Uh-oh.
Because that's where my mind always leads to. And like I think of like tons and tons and tons of theories when I'm like on the upside and on the like enlightened side of meditating, and then just like I think of like millions, not millions, but I think of like so many different theories of like what everything is and stuff. So I've lived in like way different realities because of my perception.
I don't, and you don't. Do you look different because of this? Did your like physical appearance change? Or does everyone else like see you just like normally at this time? It
really depends because it like Are you talking about everyone else or how I look at myself? Because those both change depending.
Well, say both. Let's start with everyone else.
Okay, everyone else when they look at me, like if I'm like usually down and depressed, as far as I can see, and they look at me, they like see me as normal or whatever, right? But when I'm like enlightened and uplifted, they sort of see me and they're like, "Oh, okay, there's a cool guy, right?" Because
There's a cool guy.
I'm looking up and I'm all happy or whatever. You know, I'm on a good feeling type of thing.
Yep.
And then myself, like when I was down, sometimes I would look at myself in the mirror and I would just look like evil to myself. Like I would have bags under my eyes because I wouldn't be able to sleep, and like I would get like super stressed. So I have like tons and tons of zits on like my neck and like on my forehead. So I would just look like a wreck to myself. And then when I was like more like happy and all that, I would be like, oh, okay, this is me. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, this isn't healthy at all. Cause like this like roller coaster like loop that you're on, humans, we want to just be like on a mostly straight line, but you're on a like going up and then crashing down, going up and then crashing down again.
Yeah, I'm like going to like I'm at both polarities basically
In short amount of times.
in really short amount of times. I go from white to black like within like a day. And then I'll stay black for a while and then go back and whatnot.
This is really crazy. Man.
But,
All right. So what's going on next?
So
How did you progress from that? Like seeing all these visions now.
well, after those, I started really getting into meditation. I was like, okay, I need to clear my mind because that's basically what I was using the meditation for.
Mhm.
I was using it along with a thing called binaural beats.
Binaural beats. What is that?
They're two different wave frequencies. You use them with headphones. There's one in each ear, and they're slightly different. And they help it so you like can stop. They pretty much help it to like dumb your thoughts down, or not dumb them down, but just quiet them down. It helps you to like it hypnotizes you in a way, so you can kind of just calm down. They have different ones for like relaxation. They have ones that are supposed to help with anxiety, which I was definitely having certain like panic attack or anxiety attacks for sure. I would like shake, my whole body would just start shaking, like seizing sort of, but not seizing exactly, just like really like heavily shaking though. My heartbeat would be like super racing. I would like couldn't breathe. Sometimes I would feel like I was dying.
Did you tell anyone about this?
Yeah, I've told people about it, like doctors and stuff, but like they don't really do anything about it.
They just are like, oh yeah, that's a normal symptom or some stupid shit like that.
They tell me I have anxiety.
Okay.
Which, like, I guess I could get anxiety from whatever I have if there is a name for it.
Mm-hmm.
Which they have like given me a diagnosis, but that was only after I got an MRI. And the only diagnosis they gave me was sinusitis, which is a sinus infection. Which that didn't make much sense to me. Why? Like because of my overthinking, I made it make sense to me at first when I was down.
But now it doesn't make sense.
Now that I think about it, like I didn't really feel like the sinuses were that bad. But like at first when I thought, I'm like, oh, this must be a severe sinusitis, right? Which that can cause I looked it up and that can cause headaches. I looked that up. Headaches can cause auditory and visual hallucinations if they get bad enough. So I thought, oh, must be one really bad sinusitis, but my allergies are completely fine now and it's not sinusitis. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't have sinusitis. The MRI said I did, but that's not the cause.
But now that it's like now that that's passed,
yeah,
the symptoms are still there.
exactly. Like I always think I'm fine after I go from a down and I'm all like happy and like hanging out with people and whatnot and just doing everything. Mm-hmm. But when I'm down, I just feel like horrible. But after I started meditating and I felt normal again, right?
Yeah.
I went back on to downward, of course, because that's just how the cycle's been going. And they prescribed me to Abilify. This doctor, he told me I could have a form of split personality or bipolar disorder. Bipolar being like, super happy and then super unhappy.
Yep.
And then the split personality being like, I'm not sure exactly why he thought that I have, but I can sort of guess why. Because I was sort of having like arguments with myself in my head a lot of the time. I'm not sure if it's really with me or just with my, as I call it, broken subconscious. But I would just like argue with myself for hours and hours on end in my head. And I'm just like, I'm listening to myself argue and I'm like, shut up. But I can't shut up because it just keeps coming on. The Abilify, which is pretty much the same thing as Zoloft, it's supposed to help with depression and bipolar and whatnot. That stuff, like, that fucked me up even worse. Like, holy crap. I was taking like 7 naps in a day, at least.
7?
Yes. I could not stop sleeping. I didn't want to eat anything. I didn't want to get out of bed. I felt weak. I felt like I was dying the entire time I was on Abilify. It was the worst thing for me. Like, honestly, it was just bad.
How long did you take that?
That was for maybe, what was that? Probably about it was about 2 weeks before I like went to the doctors and told them how I was feeling about it, and they told me to get off of it, and I was like, well, duh. But
Yeah,
during that time, like, I would like try to go to First Friday with my friends, right?
Okay.
And I just couldn't like enjoy my time. They were all having a good time. I was trying to have a good time, but I was on a down part of the roller coaster.
Yeah.
And they're all like drinking and stuff, and I'm like, I don't really want to be drinking with Abilify.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a bad idea.
Exactly, and I'm like, I already feel like shit anyway, so I really don't know if that's gonna help because alcohol is sort of a downer.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, no. Plus, I don't really have a good history with alcohol anyway.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
And then after that, what happened after that? So I got taken off the Abilify, and she didn't prescribe me to anything. She told me to see a psychiatrist, which I had seen a few psychotherapists that were at the establishment, but they were just short term, and they were sort of just like, not to call them mediocre, but average, I guess. They weren't the ones for me, if that makes sense.
Yes. Okay.
I saw one, and she said that this establishment couldn't even help me. She didn't even try to help.
What?
She didn't even try to help.
So, like, you told her what was going on, she was like, "Oh, well, sorry, can't help you."
Oh, we can't help you here. And I'm just thinking, like, wow.
She didn't like recommend you to anyone?
No.
What the fuck is this?
And then the other one, he didn't even end up talking to me, but he was like with the other guy who told me to go back to church, right? They were like buddy, and I was like, I don't really want to deal with that. And then there was this other guy. He sort of had more like of an open mind on beliefs as far as like religious beliefs go or whatever, or spiritual beliefs, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
So I was talking to him, and he actually like, he was helpful, but he was always busy because he had so many clients there, and there's only 3 psychotherapists there, and he's the main one. And he works as a psychotherapist, and like he works with all the doctors there. Like he's like the main dude. So I couldn't always see him, and I was like, well, that's not really super helpful if I can only get help like once a month.
Yeah.
But, he was a cool guy. Like, I respect him a lot more than the other 2 for sure.
What was his, like, diagnosis of you? What'd he do?
He said he didn't want to place a diagnosis just yet till he found out more info. He was,
Okay.
He wanted to get more. He said I could have had some form of bipolar, which would make sense, or a split personality, multi-personality, whatever, which would make sense.
Partially, yeah.
Partially, yeah. But he's like, I don't have a full diagnosis for you yet. If I were to diagnose myself, though, like considering what I, happened and been through and all that, I would diagnose myself with RTS.
RTS, what is that?
That is religious trauma syndrome. It's a newer coined term.
Religious trauma syndrome.
Syndrome. Yeah.
What does that consist of? Explain that to me.
It's actually a form of psychosis, but it's a lot less like. People don't see it as an actual syndrome. People are like, oh, well, like they just don't see it as a problem. And it's basically when like an old religion or an old belief system controls you, talks back to you, fights with you in a sense. and you like have no really like control over it because like that's how you used to think, you know. So it's like coming back to fight you, to bite you, or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
And that would like make the most sense to me because that's usually what happens.
Hmm. And is that how you are right now? Like, is that your diagnosis to this moment, to this time?
Well, I don't actually have a diagnosis. That's what I would diagnose myself with,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm currently not diagnosed with anything except for they diagnosed me with depression and anxiety and sinusitis. Which, of course, if I went in when I was on my downward slope, it's going to seem like I'm depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if I'm like having like attacks in my head and like looks like a panic attack or anxiety attack, of course they're going to say I have anxiety. That's obvious. Anyway, so I got off the Abilify, and then everything was like starting to become fine again, finally. I was like, okay, I need to start looking for jobs. You know, I'm completely fine. I got this, you know, yada, yada, yada. Boom, it starts up again, of course, after a while. And this time I didn't actually go for any help. I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to deal with this right now. So I just tried to deal with it for a while. And then I was like, oh, this is painful. Like, my head hurts all the time and I'm tired of thinking. My brain needs a rest. So my dad was telling me how because I needed to get my wisdom teeth taken out. And we went there and the doctor was like, you don't know how many headaches I've cured by taking out wisdom teeth, right? So I was like, hey, maybe this, you know, maybe that's my whole problem was the wisdom teeth the whole time, right?
Maybe, possibly. So.
Possibly. It's reasonable to an extent at least, but
Mm-hmm.
they took out the wisdom teeth and I was fine for a few days because I was on narcotics. So I didn't actually really need the narcotics. I wasn't in pain, but the narcotics were like, hey, I feel good on these. I'm allowed to take how many a day? I took more than I should have a day, but that's not the point. Either way, I was just kind of popping them every time like I started to not feel as good, and it was helpful.
It was helping you, okay?
It was helping, so and then I ran out, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'm still fine. You know, I'm still on a good note right now, and I was on an upward slope. You know, happy. Got this like interview at Albertsons. Did the Albertsons interview, like aced the interview, had to take a drug test. I was a little worried about that because I'd only been clean for a little over a month.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother was telling me it could be up to 90 days. For him at least, because he kind of cakes it on because he smokes every day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I'll pass. So I didn't even study like I did last time. Because last time I had smoked 2 days before the drug test.
Mm-hmm.
And I passed because I like drowned myself with water, basically, cleaned my system.
That's your little trick.
Yeah, either you can use water, cranberry juice. Midol actually helps on it. Like I was doing research too, and there was like lots of things that can help, but mostly just clear your system by drinking water and cranberry juice.
Pro tips coming right from Morgan, everybody.
There just you go, guys. Either way, so I didn't actually study for this one. I like drank some water, but I wasn't like drowning myself or anything. Because I'm pretty sure I was like, oh, my system's clear enough, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was waiting for the test results, but it was taking forever, right? Because of Easter. Because I got it on Friday. They took the drug test on Friday. It takes 2 days, but they can't send it out on Sunday because of Easter, right?
Yep.
And they ended up picking it up like Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever before Thursday, because I got the actual call on Wednesday. But either way, it was Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is like super recent now.
Yeah, this is like this week, last week.
Yeah, but it was Tuesday, and my brother was smoking with someone else who was living there, and you're like, want to smoke? And I'm like, no, because if I didn't pass my test, then like I need to keep looking for a job, obviously.
Yeah.
So I need to, at least wait if I know I have this one, right?
Understandably.
And I was meditating, right? And something just like told me, I'm not sure if this was the voice in my head or just myself or what it was, but something just told me, if you really believe that you passed the test, go smoke, right? So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I passed the test. I'm gonna go. Because at that time, my newer belief system, because I basically have a new religion every day, the way my mind works for myself.
You have a new religion. What do you mean?
I make my own religion. It's self-religion, not really like I don't follow any other religion, but like whatever I think in my mind is like correct.
Okay.
But either way, and at the time my like thoughts were like your beliefs become reality, right? Like over time they can manifest, and if you believe it, like it'll be true.
Yep.
So I was like, you know what? I do believe that I passed that, so I'm gonna pass it. I was in that kind of mindset, like, okay, I got this, right? So I go smoke, and I get like even more enlightened, and I get like, I can think of like different like what you call it, different theories about like life and shit and all that, like but comfortably without like the headaches, without the fighting back of my ex religion.
Okay.
And it was awesome. And then like I even went to sleep, woke up fine, right?
Yep.
I got the call the next day. I passed the test. They told me oh, can you come by tomorrow at 1:45 to
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So you got a call saying you passed the test.
yeah, and to pick up my uniform the next
Yeah,
day.
okay.
And my brother asked me to smoke, or if I wanted to smoke or whatever, right? And I was thinking to myself, do I really want to? Like, does this feel right? Because at that time I was still like, do what feels right, basically, to you. Like, I was on, I don't know what my theory was at that time, but either way. And then I just had a feeling that I shouldn't, right? But I was like, why not? I'll go with the flow. But I really felt like I shouldn't. And I only did one bowl with him and their friend that lives over there, right? And I was gone, like, more than I had been in a while. Like, I felt like I was, like, partially hallucinating.
Partially hallucinating? What do you mean?
Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, see, I would explain to someone who's been high as, like, being high the first time and going too far. Basically. Like, that feeling you get. Like, that just, like, holy crap, I'm, like, not even here right now. What am I doing?
Okay.
Either way, though, and, like, I was thinking of theories again, but this time I was going back to being, like, attacked again. Like, oh, no, like, those, like, doubts in my head, like, oh, what if I'm doing the wrong thing? What if that was correct all this time? Blah, 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 blah. As people have coined the term, fear porn.
Fear porn?
Fear porn, yes.
Interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Basically what that is like the fear you get from like, oh, this will happen if you don't do this. That fear you have. Like, oh, if you do this, you're going to hell, basically. You know what I mean? If you don't do this, you're doing, you know what I'm saying? That's the fear porn, basically, right? So that aspect, like, came back all of a sudden and was, like, fighting with my, like, theories and having arguments again. And I'm just trying to defend myself from my thoughts, like, hey, I'm thinking I should be allowed to think, right? Like,
Yep.
thinking I'm talking to someone else, but I'm pretty sure I'm not really talking to anyone else as much as like a messed up subconscious, like a brainwashed subconscious.
A brainwashed subconscious. Okay.
Yeah, because those 17 years, like I was born into a religion, and it's not really like the healthiest thing if like you choose to not believe it after believing it for 17 years and living that way. Going to church every Sunday. They teach you how to see things a certain way. Like, and I was looking at it and I'm like, I was looking at it as a whole, like not just like my specific like form of Christianity that I had been like born into or whatever, but Christianity as a whole. And I was looking at how much it went with like the government, you know what I mean? Like I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, Christian religion, there's tons of wars. I was looking at more specifically to the Republican form of government, the GOP. Flip the P upside down, what do you get is GOD, but that's not the point. Sorry, but it's, I was looking at things this way too, and I'm like, holy crap, they really like, they're really controlling people in a sense. Like they're splitting people into two sides. Like I can see this everywhere. Like, want me to keep going on this? Because I could go on this for a bit.
Yeah, I like this.
So basically, governments want war for their own means, and they like say it's necessary. In actuality, it's not necessary, but they say it's necessary, right? And they're like, oh, wars, it's gonna happen. And in the Bible, right? You know how many wars there are in the Bible and how many times God picks a side?
I do not. How many? Give me an estimate. Right?
A lot.
A lot. Okay.
That's my number.
A lot. I
Either
like
way,
it.
in multiple times there's like wars going on, and God, or the government, if you replace God with the government, it'll make a lot more sense. God says don't do drugs. You know what the government says? Don't do drugs. God says that people that are not, of wherever, people who are not like you are evil. You know what the government says about other countries? That they don't like, that they're evil. They're only giving us one side of the story. Like if we were born in say who are we fighting right now? Who's our biggest issue right now, you think?
Right now?
Yeah, right now. Who do you think's our biggest issue?
Probably like Russia, maybe.
Okay, if we were born in Russia and born to believe that United States was evil, we would have the same perspective just from the other side. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
So basically, I was thinking about this, and I'm thinking about, okay, so why is there only like one side to the Bible, basically? Like, why is there only one side? Why is this all the good things and everything else happens to be bad things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I thought, okay, I was looking at it, and I'm like, there's two sides to this. That's as old as anything, having two sides, obviously. Two sides to a battle, whatever. And I was thinking, like, okay, there's two sides to the story. Right? And I'm like, okay, where's the other side? I kept looking for where, the other side could be. But then I also looked at, there's, right history. History is written by the victors of the two sides.
That is true.
So I was thinking way back to the Crusades. And I'm like, okay, and then like, all the book burnings that happened in Rome at the time.
Yeah.
Because there was obviously like another teaching that was maybe not exactly opposite, but, different to the Bibles or different to the whatevers that, they didn't want the other people seeing. That's the other side of the story they didn't want for other people. So they burned the books. Yeah. That's what I think. So they would burn the books and they would have these wars, to see like, oh no, we're the strongest religion, we're the strongest, blah, 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 And like,
we're the right religion.
Yeah, exactly. With the only true blah, 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 you know what I mean, right?
Yep.
And it's just like a huge battle between like that, and then people end up like getting controlled by wherever they're born into, in a sense. Like, that's why people's religions are mostly based on where they're born in like their geographic, like on the map. Because
like here, like in the United States, most people are Christians. Like let's say in India, they're Hindu, right?
India is more like Buddhist, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's Hindu then?
Shit. That might also be India though, different parts.
I feel like it is, but then again, I could be an ignorant prick. So
either way though, but you see what I'm saying by how like different places they have different teachings, and then it usually rolls with the government also. Like it usually coincides with it. And like I feel like in the earlier days of human civilization, like when people started realizing this, that's why like now we've evolved to where it's needed by everyone, to keep them in line, or so to speak, in line, because that's where they want them. If we can look more into like the Bible of things like they say the prophets or whatever, Jesus was a shepherd, right? Herding sheep. Sheep are just part of the flock. They are like, they're part of the whole. They're just sheep, you know what I mean? They're being controlled by the shepherd. You get what I'm saying?
Yep, I 100% see where you're going with this.
So I feel like I was a victim of this brain controlling, and actually saw it as brain controlling finally, you know what I mean? Like I was like, okay, I see why this is. I just need to not let it get a hold of me anymore. That's what I'm trying to deal with right now, is not letting it get a hold of me.
I never really thought of stuff like that before.
That's pretty much all I think of, because my mind, that's just where my mind goes. Like, I could tell you some, like, insane theories about some of the stuff I was thinking of.
Like, give me one. I want to hear this.
Okay. View DNA strands as zeros and ones, okay?
Yes.
Specific data, right? Now, we have this, free will or whatever. Free will is free flowing, so those are the zeros. Okay? And then the ones would be the straight, like, this is you, this is what you do, and then you have the zeros, which are the free flowing, okay? So you still have that sort of duality sense, but it's also mixed in with numbers inside a machine. We are like in the machine as data. We are, parts of the data. And if the machine was trying to create every type of data that it possibly could, then that would like also coincide with the multiverse theory, which the multiverse theory can also coincide with the Big Bang theory. Because if you think of what is nothing, nothing is both nothing, but it's also everything. Which would mean there could have been a start from nothing, because nothing in actuality is something.
I like this. And you're thinking of, this is the kind of stuff that you're like thinking about now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's, man. See, and like, well, you were talking about the religion, because you said you were doing that for like 17 years, and then you feel like that's what like really started messing you up. And when I decided to become like an atheist, it never hit me like that, because, well, like, we never really, my family didn't really like go to church every single Sunday. Like, we would go, but just not like, oh, it's Sunday, we're going to church 100%. It would be like, we have stuff to do and stuff. Yeah. So like, it never hit me like that, like the way it did you, because you were going for so long. So it'd be like interesting to see someone like Josh, who I know goes to the church every Sunday, if he were to one day just like break it off and see if something happened to him.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm. It definitely had an effect on me, for sure.
Man, but then that is all crazy, man. And now you feel like you're starting to really get a hold of this? You're starting to...
I'm still trying to find out how to get a hold of this. I'm still trying to figure out like what my triggers are and how to just like completely destroy my triggers.
Yeah, that'll take time. You can't just figure that out in one day.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, I had 17 years of like spitting words into my brain every day, or every Sunday, I should say. And then they also want you to go to meetings at the church I went to. They also want you to go to certain meetings on also Tuesdays or Wednesdays, depending on like, for Boy Scouts or whatever. And they also push information in your head. And then you're supposed to like pray every night, pushing more, that's you practicing the information you're putting into brain, creating your own belief system, you're putting that into your brain. So in a reality, when people say they heard God, they're really hearing themselves. Because if they believe that there is a God, then, beliefs manifest. In their head, there becomes a God. So now it's just the struggle of me getting God out of my head, or at least that specific God, in a sense, what I created.
Yeah, okay. Dude, I swear to God, Morgan, I'm going to have you back on this episode. I don't know when, but I'm going to have you on for like an update to see how you're doing and what more crazy theories you can come up with, because this especially this end part, I fucking love this. This is so interesting that like a lot of people don't think like that, and it's I find it so fascinating to like get into the mind of someone who does. So I think we're gonna wrap it up with your interview here, but I can't wait for you to get on the next episode, and we'll keep talking, man. We'll keep talking. You already know that. If you ever need anything, you already know who to call, man.
Right, man.
It's me. It's on me. It's on me. All that it's on me. Fuck. All right, see you, Morgan.
All right, see ya.
And there we go. That's the end of Morgan's interview. I had a lot of fun talking to Morgan. That's my boy. I've known him for years, and I hope he gets better soon. Yeah. No, I'll just stop with that now. All right, that's the end of episode 6, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I will be back with an episode 7 soonish. I think, how long has it been since the last episode? 2 weeks or a week, something like that. I got a lot of positive feedback from the first episode, so I'm gonna continue this. Hopefully you guys like this. The views I don't really fucking care about, like, seriously, because I have lots of fun doing this. I have lots of fun doing that. I'm a horrible singer. I have lots of fun doing music. So I'm just gonna continue with all these 3 things, and just keep having fun, just like you guys should do it. Like, fucking every day, just fucking keep a smile on your face, man. Because this life is way too stressful to be sad and angry and fucking just being down the whole time. Just try to keep a smile on your face, man, everyone out there. But this is JESE Clutch signing off. See you guys next episode. Peace.